Hello, I'm Sonja Wood, and as you've seen by the title of this video, COVID-19, Unexpected, Unplanned and Unprepared for Homeschooling. I wanted to stop today and talk to parents and the children as well about the situation that we are in. It is the 21st of March, 2020, when we are sitting filming this. And for those of you who aren't aware of this name, this word Oikos, it actually means home and household and family. And so at this time where there is the unexpected, I don't think there's a person out there who's watching now that expected coronavirus to be part of 2020. I think it might be so that some families are a little bit more prepared than others, especially those that are already home educating. But even them, there are certain aspects of this COVID-19 that is probably affecting them. And so this COVID-19 is affecting everybody across the entire planet in either a very small way or an extreme way. But I wanted to stop today and encourage you and support you and help you in every way that I possibly can. Because Oikos, as I've mentioned, means home. And it seems to me that everybody has been called home. That's what I'm seeing. I'm in South Africa. And I'm seeing that across the world, people are being told to go home. And as I have mentioned, it's unexpected for everybody. Nobody expected that. It's unplanned. You may be feeling unprepared. So I want to talk to you about those three things: feeling unprepared and it being unexpected, and just the panic that people can get into when something like this happens, and fear. Fear is a very real factor. If you're watching this, you might have fear for any number of reasons. It could just be financial, and what about my job, and what about our finances, and how are we going to provide, just for basic survival. And your fear could be as extreme as that. And it could also be you just fearful of the unknown, which is a normal human characteristic, fear. So what we've done here at Oikos is we are putting together a playlist. And when I say we are putting together, it's going to be slowly added to every single time I come across a video on the Oikos YouTube channel that I feel would be pertinent or supportive or helpful to you. I'm going to add it to the COVID-19 playlist in the hopes to be able to support you and help you in this time. Whether you are already at home educating your children, or whether you find yourself at home with your children and feel very unprepared. I'm just sure that applies to thousands, millions of people. So I know that there's videos on our website, on our website and on the YouTube channel that speak of these specific areas of fear, such as I don't feel equipped, I don't feel prepared, I'm not good enough to teach my children, I'm not a qualified teacher, what's going to become of them, are they going to fall behind, what about their learning, and so it goes on. And so here at Oikos, what we have been doing for the last 30 years actually is supporting parents around the world, most specifically in South Africa, that have chosen to bring their children home and teach them at home. So we've got a series on the Oikos YouTube channel called A Learning Lifestyle, because it's hopefully encouraging and supporting and helping parents that have their children at home, and we're giving them some support with regard to their learning lifestyle at home. But now all of a sudden, with the situation as it is in our world today, those videos we did for home educators could possibly help parents all around the world that are in the situation of having to go home and their children having to go home. I mean, every day we're watching the news and we're seeing the next country has closed all the schools and sent the children home. And every day, right close to home, we are hearing situations of where people are in other countries and they're having to be sent home because the university they're at or the function they went to or whatever it might be has been closed and they've been sent home. So I would actually like to encourage you in this situation of having been sent home, because I believe that it can be a huge, huge blessing to every individual and every parent and every child. In fact, I've got this little board here that is on quite a few of our videos. In fact, it used to be permanently on set count your blessings. This is something that has been drilled into me because all the way through my childhood, my mother would constantly remind me, count your blessings, count your blessings. So what we want to do here at Oikos is we want to help you count your blessings, and we want to help you to be blessed. We want to help you to experience the blessing of having to be at home, because, it can be hugely valuable for you. And so this little video, this just stopping by here quickly and talking to you, I want to keep it short because of the fact that I know that the playlist is just I'm going to keep populating it and adding the next video that I found that I think, that might help you. And then I'll put it on the playlist. And the titles of the videos are questions parents ask, such as some of the ones that I've mentioned. Parents ask questions that are concerning them. We put that question as the title of the video, and then we address it and talk about it. And in case you're wondering, but what about practical? What about all the various concerns that you might be having right now? I'm hoping that when you go look at that playlist, there's going to be questions there that are questions you might have right now. And you can watch that video, and it'll give you more than what I can by sitting and talking to you today, because there's such a huge variety of concerns, and everybody's got a different level of fear or different reason for their concern. Every individual has their own circumstances to be concerning themselves with. We actually did one series called The Top 10 Fears of Home Education, and that's people that were actually wanting to home educate and choosing that, but they were afraid of a few things. In this instance, family, because of what's happening with COVID-19, families are at home. It's not necessarily something they chose to do, or they didn't choose to not take their children to school, but the school's closed. So now they're at home. And so about counting your blessings, the one thing that I wanted to say is this time, I could really, really talk to you for a long time about this now, but instead of doing that, I'm going to just encourage you to go and find the playlist title that is appropriate to you, and hopefully that can help you. I want to help you remove any fear or concern or anxiety that you might be having right now, because I know we can help you. Oikos has got hundreds of videos that I know can support you at this time. I know they can be helpful, even if it's a video about playing a board game with your children. We've done a whole lot of videos on that. So now a parent finds themselves at home and they're not sure what to do, where to go, which direction to do. And so this could be the time to be sitting and playing board games with your children. It could be the time, I'm saying time all the time, and as I'm saying that, I'm remembering a particular video which I'll put on the playlist called Time, and it's the way children spell love. Because your children that are at home and not being sent to school each day and are at home in your household, and you there with them, this situation is affecting everybody. So it can be, what are you going to do with that situation? It can be a huge blessing to your children to have your time whereby you're going to sit and play board games with them. Or you might be thinking, but what about their language and what about their maths? They're going to fall behind. And so what we're doing here at Oikos is we're making a specific category on the Oikos website that is just called assessments. And do you know that in this time that you're at home with your children, you can actually go and do a maths assessment with your children? You might think they're in grade 4 and their skill levels, whatever you think it is. But when you sit and do this assessment, it doesn't cost you anything other than time, which you now have, and you're not rushing around, and because you can't, because your country might be in lockdown, so you're at home. So now's the time to hopefully have time to do an assessment with your children. So what we've done is we're putting it in a special category on the website whereby you can go there and you can do a maths assessment, and you'll be able to assess from that exactly what your children's skill level and ability is in maths. And don't worry about now, but what about the curriculum? And maybe they've come home from school with books and you don't even know how to go about helping them with that, perhaps because that's something the teacher did before. So what I'm doing is I'm encouraging you today to seize this opportunity as the parent, because you are your children's teachers. You are the teacher of your children. You're teaching them manners, you're teaching them behavior. There's many things you already know. I don't need to go through it. You already know as a parent that you're teaching your children all the time. But you did maybe send them to school for somebody else to teach them on an academic level. And now maybe you're worrying about that. And what I'm saying to you is you don't need to worry. I actually say that with such confidence. Having this time is a gift. It's a gift for you. It might seem scary. It might seem the unprepared, the unplanned, the unexpected is just terrifying. It might feel like that. I'm not denying that you might have real fear and feelings about that. Use this opportunity for this to happen. Many, many, many blessings, and you can start counting the blessings. You can count the blessings of having time with your children, time at home. So I don't think I need to spend too much more time on this video, because what I'd rather be doing is encouraging you to go to the playlist. And when you go to the playlist, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend time with each video, and I'm going to put in other videos that might relate to that, like a link. You know how we can do now with YouTube. Thank goodness for that. We can support you through technology in this way, which is just wonderful. So that's what we can do, and that's what we're doing. So while you're watching a video, you might be watching a particular video on, say, one of the fears and want to know how to find the rest. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put in the links so that when you go to that, it will hopefully link you to other support that is there for you. So today, this was all about just stopping to encourage you, to ask you to count your blessings, to not be afraid, to see this as an opportunity for something fantastic, to see it as an opportunity of blessing, because I believe that's what it is. It's an opportunity of blessing. And before I say goodbye, I just want you to know as well that I got myself a cup of tea to have with you. And you will maybe, if you do go to the playlist and see the videos, you'll see I often encourage people to stop and have a cup of tea, and let me just have a cup of tea with you and just share with you. We have walked this journey of being at home for many, many, many years, and so we are very accustomed to it. We're very used to it. It's very normal for us. I know it's extremely abnormal for a lot of people, but because it's so normal for us, I thought this thing that is so normal for us, being at home and teaching our children and having helped home educators to do that, I believe that we can actually help all of you that are now at home, and it's something that's not normal for you. We can help you make it as comfortable and as good and as wonderful as possible. And for the home educators as well, by the way, a lot of home educators also have been running around. Their lives have got very full. They're not just sitting at home all day and never going outside. That's not the picture. Home educators have full lives. And now they also have to adapt a little bit by just being at home, and maybe the concert was cancelled. Well, not maybe. In South Africa, any large gathering event has been cancelled. So those families, the home educating families at home, I'm hoping as well that you will find the blessing in this time, that it'll be a very, very wonderful, good time. It'll be a time you look back at as being an absolute treasure. I must just tell you that we did a podcast series in February, and now we're in March, about treasure hunts. And there's been amazing feedback from that of parents saying they had no idea that this treasure hunt was going to be such a wonderful thing to do in their family. They thought, well, I'll give it a try, but the result has been fantastic. I got a message from one mom saying even the big people like it, the big children and the mother herself. She says they're loving these treasure hunts. It's becoming a highlight for them. But this is a home educating family that follow the podcast, and I gave them the idea of doing treasure hunts. So she started doing it, and she's now sharing with me what is happening in their household. When I say she, I mean a few testimonies in that regard. So there again, you see, you might want to go and watch that podcast on treasure hunts. It's a 4-part series in February on the Oikos podcast channel. Maybe I'll just, in the playlist, link you to the podcast as well, because there's quite a few of them, and the titles are always trying to be as close to what the subject matter is. So I just hope you're going to find this helpful, whether you're home educating or whether you are a parent or a family in this COVID-19 situation, which you're finding very alarming to you and turning your life upside down. It might just be a very, very great blessing. Well, I believe it can be. And it's up to us. Are we going to make it a blessing, or is it going to be a burden? I think it's up to us. And I'm here to help you to see the blessing in it and for it to be a blessing. And that's why we're doing the COVID-19, I was going to say podcast list, playlist. Okay, so you can comment when you're going to watch there. You can put comments on the playlist on any video, and you can communicate and let me know what it is further that we can help you with. I'm not going to go into the details of practical and what things you might need to have, because what I'm suggesting is you don't need to have anything. We use the Word of God. If you've got a Bible at home, fantastic, because if you start reading from Proverbs 1 all the way through to Proverbs 31, and you spend like a week on each proverb, that's 31 weeks. And just think of the value that can impart to you as an individual, as a person, and then what you're passing on to your children, if you have time to do that, because the Proverbs is God's instruction manual to us. So there's your if you're wanting to know about resources and curriculum, start here with your Bible. And if you don't have that, well, play games, watch the treasure hunts, watch the videos that we're putting up, and hunt for the blessings. Go on a treasure hunt looking for the blessings. And I hope to see a lot more of you as you work through the playlist. I hope you're going to find it helpful and supportive. Thank you for stopping and listening, and please be encouraged. Please watch those top 10 fears if you're feeling fearful, to get rid of that fear and embrace this time as something that you can go on a wonderful treasure hunt, finding the blessing in it. And be encouraged. Don't be dismayed. Oh, you see, I could just keep telling you also, because a couple of weeks ago I did a podcast on dismissing the dread. Now, would you believe it? I did that podcast before anybody had even heard about what this coronavirus, how it was going to affect us, directly here in South Africa. And I did a podcast series on dismissing the dread. And it was literally just helping parents to, if they dread something inside of them, they dread doing a lesson with their children because they don't feel confident. I was giving them ideas on how to dismiss that dread so that they could not have it, so they could be strengthened and supported and helped to be able to achieve what it is that they would like to. So you're going to have fun with your children, enjoy this time, make the most of this time, loving your family and loving your children. And I hope you're going to find that playlist helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.